frontalis muscle. Over on the sides of the head, so over here, what bone was over here?
Parietal.
Temporal. So parietal,
That's why that's a little
temporal.
wobbly.
Okay, so don't hit yourself in the temple.
Thank you.
So the temporalis muscle.
I'll
is
never
right here.
forget that. Now that you
No.
point out. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
Where were you before?
Right before the bus.
You let her down. You let her down. Okay. So what it really looks like is this one here. This is the temporalis muscle, and then what's happened is this big white structure is an aponeurosis, or connective tissue that connects muscles together. And so when you look at these models, like this side here, they peel it off. So you got to keep that in mind, that when you're looking at these things, it gets really confusing, because even like down in the chest, like this side's intact, but then they pulled off the pec major so you can see underneath it. And on the back, they got one side that's going to be intact on here, and then they peeled off a layer on this side so that you can see underneath it. So keep that in mind as you're going through the models. That's why it looks weird. So frontalis over the frontal bone, we have the temporalis over the temples, and then we have the occipitalis back here over the occipital bone. I don't know if you have all those on your list this time. I think it's really just, you have temporalis, and then you have the epicranius. The epicranius is this aponeurosis. So if I say something's on your list, give you it as a bonus, but it shouldn't be on the shouldn't be on the test. But that's still the frontalis muscle. The occipitalis is over the occipital bone. Temporalis is over the sides, and then this aponeurosis is called the epicranius, or above the cranium. Around the eyes, we have this circular muscle called the orbicularis oculi. Okay, so oculi refers to the eye. Orbicularis means it's circular or orbital. Okay, so that's this one here. Okay. We have some nasal muscles which didn't make it onto your list, but then from the bottom of our eyes, from here down, this group is called the zygomaticus group. There's a major, there's a minor, there's a couple different ones, but your list just has the zygomaticus group this time, so you don't have to differentiate whether they go from the cheekbones or the zygomatic bone here down to the lips. So when you smile, that's your zygomaticus lifting up the lips. Okay. Around the mouth, we have a circular muscle called the orbicularis oris. Oris refers to the mouth, orbicularis refers to its circular muscle. What else? What am I forgetting? Okay, so as we go through the cheek, like if you clench your cheek, this muscle that pops out right there, that is your masseter. That's this one here.
When they mad.
When you're mad, when you clench, that's the masseter. Okay. Underneath the masseter, this side we peel it off. So if you purse your lips like you did for Valentine's Day, okay, that buccinator muscle is going to be underneath, is right through here. So buccinator, when you purse the lips, it's underneath, like along the cheek line or the teeth there. So that's the buccinator muscle. It's the puckering muscle. And then we have the platysma underneath, which I don't think is on your list, right? No. Okay, so let's just not go there. So then we have the sternocleidomastoid. Sterno from the sternum. Cleido is another way to say clavicle. And then the mastoid process was up here on which bone? Temporal. Okay. So the SCM is this big muscle here. We have the sternal portion, we have the clavicle portion or the cleido portion, and then it comes up and it inserts back on the mastoid process of the temporal bone. So when you turn your head and look back with your back in your car out, the sternocleidomastoid is contracting to pull your head to that side. Okay. So those are the only one. There's more on here, but just focusing on those ones that are on the list. Why don't you look at the face ones, and then we'll come back and we'll do the